Something new.
What?
Professor X, James McAvery, and Phoenix, the young Phoenix, are both going to be appearing in the new Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we talked about that literally last night.
You did?
Yeah, I told you about that yesterday twice.
Oh.
We also talked. Well, we talked about it 3 days ago when I brought it up that it was rumored also.
Okay.
Jesus,
It just came out on Pugbeast 2 hours ago.
Hey, what?
It just came out 2 hours ago on Mob.
Yeah, but his other site broke it last night.
Oh, did it?
We talked about it before that.
Oh.
Remember, I'm pretty sure. I even said I'm pretty sure Punk Beast and Small Screen's about to go on this, but
True. I like to wake up to Chocolate Bombs by Skeleton Crew. Wake up in the morning, this is what I like to wake up with. Mr. Wake and Bake, Happy Bongos, and Chocolate Bombs by Skeleton Crew.
All right, welcome back. We're here again. I don't think I muted the mic for most of that. It's okay. We had videos going. All right, we're back again for another 420 session. We're here to get stoned with you guys or get stoned in front of you, however you want to think about it. If you want to get stoned with us, feel free to jump in. I'm just got to make an adjustment really quickly. So we are going to see some ducks. anything right now. But all right, we're back. Sorry, we're a little washed out in light there. We are back with hopefully at least a little more visible light. We're here to smoke some bowls, talk about some Moon Knight, talk about some Doctor Strange, and talk about the fact that we had a Marvel actor die, not one that we've seen live yet, but we will see in the upcoming Moon Knight as Moon Knight's sidekick. Ryan's going to tell you a little bit more about him, but first,
it's a bongo time.
Always bongo time.
Bongo times.
First bongo time. Yeah, we're already packed, right?
Good to go.
Always smash it full bowlfuls if you can. If you can't, you do what you can, because that's all this is about. It's just getting stoned at your level. Today we are smoking some Black Diamond and some Strawberry Diesel. We're not going weed versus weed today. We didn't get anything overly new, so you've seen everything we've talked about. So today, let's talk about who died. Who died?
All right. So unfortunately, literally right after the premiere of the new trailer, Moon Knight's sidekick. It's called Midnight Man. It's kind of like Robin, Batman type foe and sidekick. His name's Gaspar Ulliel. He's a French actor. Hasn't been in too much stuff over here in North America other than Hannibal Rising, but he was up and coming.
Marvel's been doing that a lot lately. Like a Miss Marvel is going to be a complete, like Miss Marvel has never been in anything before this. Echo, that was her first acting job ever.
Sweet.
And she's deaf in real life. So like Marvel's really taking a shot on some newer, younger actors that, I mean, whether you think they're taking a shot on some younger actors or just trying not to get caught paying someone $250 million for another movie.
That could be it too, yeah. Save those for the cameos.
But sorry, joking aside, I am not joking about the death of the man. He died, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate ski accident in France, where he's from. That's all we really been heard about the death. Other than that,
now unless Moon Knight is going to rewrite to deal with the character being missing in advance, this shouldn't affect the release of the show.
Yeah,
it'll just affect season 2, I guess. But we don't know how it'll affect season 2. For all we know, this character could die in the series. It's all on the IRS, but it doesn't look like this is going to affect Marvel very much. So though it is sad whenever someone loses their life, especially to skiing.
It was the end credit. Then he becomes Midnight Man. And then it's
just gotta
probably
he'll be Don Cheadle.
Yeah, basically, let's replace him.
So unfortunately that has happened, but it should not affect production or release for March 30th, as they don't typically give full-on release dates like that and drop the final trailer without having the film at least having the property close to done.
Yeah, and
we know filming's wrapped, so
yeah.
That is sad. We lost an actor, but Marvel will survive and move on. And what else are we talking about today, Ryan?
One thing, I guess, since he was a sidekick, we can maybe go over some sidekicks that you watched when you grew up. Do you remember any other sidekicks other than obviously the Cosmic Robin? Puck to Wolverine?
Yep, I'm going right to Alpha Flight, boys and girls. Puck. No, and that's the funny part, because the properties that you and I grew up in love with the most don't really have them. You know what I mean? Like the X-Men don't really have sidekicks per se, unless you count like Cable's little sister. Mm-hmm. But she's like, it's all more equals and so on and so forth.
I guess it's more of a DC thing to have the sidekicks.
Yeah, Superboy, Aqua Lad, Arrow Lad, whatever.
True.
And there are but in Marvel they do it by having, instead of weird adult-child relationships between a bunch of wards and everything, Marvel more does it like, oh, I had a kid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Captain America has a kid with Black Widow. Now we have a new superhero, not, hey, who's going to be the next Batman? Which has always kind of bothered me. Maybe, I think we're pointing out something about DC that's kind of bugged me.
Oh.
And the reason everyone tunes in to our 420 sessions the beautiful puppy. Hey, puppy. Want a treat? Bet you want a treat? No.
How's it
So
going?
I don't know if you.
Sorry.
I don't know if you were watching and are listening to what we're talking about, but Moon Knight's sidekick in the TV show, the actor died in an unfortunate skiing accident
No
Yeah.
way.
the day after the main trailer released.
Yeah.
Damn, it would have been so much better. Worse, I mean, if he wasn't vaccinated. Anyway, that's terrible.
It might be called COVID. Dad.
Skiing accident. Yeah, he had a skiing accident. That is
So
all
it was
we know.
marked as a death with COVID.
with a
That's
slight chance of COVID.
But you guys, but we are we decided to take that and port it into talking about our favorite sidekicks.
Yeah.
And I guess so I guess if I had to pick one, and since we're stuck in DC because that's the main place sidekicks are,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably Darkwing,
Yeah.
Jason Todd.
Okay.
So I'm going with Jason Todd. Who's your favorite sidekick, Zach?
what I was just trying to think. Night Monkey's not a sidekick
No, he's a mainline hero.
Yeah.
in Europe.
And
Yes.
villains, a lot of villains have sidekicks. Actually, now that I come to think.
That's
about
true
it.
too. Yeah.
Kingpin has got Mr. Smith.
Not really a sidekick, more of a slave and employee
That's
who
yeah.
at some point becomes his own mutant bad guy.
True.
You
So
really
Zach,
stumped me.
who is it?
You stumped me with that. I've never really thought about it before, and I should have a list of sidekicks.
That's really nice. Tasty. Was you here smoking this sack? Sorry, I forgot it last night. It's really good chatter.
So Ryan, who's your favorite sidekick?
Thank you, Mad Dab. Me.
So while he's thinking about that, we're hitting up the champion extracts. We are doing some Slurricane hybrid, and yeah, they are very delicious. Oh wow, I had my finger over not, and I'm like, for children, 20 what? This is not for children. So we're doing some dabs here, Zach. But yeah, Ryan, who's your favorite sidekick?
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go with Superboy, just because I remember him in Titans. But I know he was Superman's sidekick for a while in the comics too.
Yeah, not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Superman's clone.
Yeah, Superman's clone with Lex Luthor, I guess.
I'm trying to think of sidekicks that eventually ended up betraying the hero and becoming more powerful. That's probably who I would pick.
That smart dude from Watchmen.
Oh, Ozymandias?
Wasn't he kind of Dr. Manhattan's or Mr. Manhattan's sidekick in the comic? Like that's how, like he was helping him because he was they were both really smart.
I don't know if I'd call Ozymandias a sidekick, but compared to Dr. Manhattan, everyone's a sidekick. So
Yeah.
What about Bucky? Because it's Captain America's sidekick.
Oh right, yeah. Captain America's
Yeah.
fine, but a sidekick, Bucky.
I'm not a huge Bucky fan. I mean, I don't mind the guy, but he doesn't excite me.
I mean, I like the Winter Soldier. I could care less about Bucky.
I liked him in Falcon. And
That's what I'm
Winter
saying.
Soldier.
Like, I like that he's a crazy old dude. I don't actually care about like when he was Bucky.
Oh, Nebula was one of my favorite sidekicks on Doctor Who. She
Sorry?
was Nebula on
Could
Doctor
also be
Who.
considered Gamora's sidekick.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, but she was Doctor Who's sidekick for 2 years at least.
Oh, like the actress.
Yeah, Karen Gillian.
Oh, I thought you meant like he actually had someone named Nebula on the show. I'm like, that's cool.
No.
So you're going with Superboy. I went with Darkwing, or I went with Jason Todd specifically, who's Robin, who's also the Red Hood. Like I went with the only one that betrays his hero.
And even if we are going with like sidekick mentors, it could be Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. It could be
Well, I
he's
mean,
kind of
Spider-Man
mentoring, and Iron Man
In the
Spider-Man.
MCU, well, he's never actually a sidekick.
Not a sidekick, but more a mentor.
Yeah, like Iron Man's the first mentor, and then he's got Doctor Strange now, but now he's got nobody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I really thought we'd get more out of but okay. So other releases, Punk Beast and Small Screen and Geekosity all reported on in the last 2 days. What we talked about the other night, James McAvoy and why can I never remember her name?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Jean Grey, from the new X-Men,
Yeah.
are
Younger
going
one.
to be coming into Multiverse of Madness.
Sansa Stark.
Is that her name?
That sounds familiar. Yeah. That's probably right.
Is that her name?
Well, she played Sansa Stark on Game of Thrones.
Oh, right, yeah. She's another GOT.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's true.
Hey, even our chat, when people are in it, tell us not to talk about Game of Thrones. I'm going to take that as a sign as I was right, all of you were wrong, and we just never have to hear about Game of Thrones again.
You brought up Sansa.
Who?
Jean Grey.
Oh, yeah, because I want to know the actress's name, not her character on Game of Thrones. Although something neat was pointed out. Oh crap! Jon Snow and who does Icarus play on Game of Thrones? Icarus is Superman from Eternals.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is
the leader
someone
of the
on
Eternals.
Huh?
I forget who he was on Game of Thrones.
So the last words he says to Jon Snow are, "I'll be a god the next time we meet." And then the next time they meet is in Eternals, and he's Icarus, a god.
That is.
So there you go.
cool.
There's a little Game of Thrones for you.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Game of Thrones.
I just made me think of it because it's the only thing I know about it because it was part of another breakdown video. So I'm just regurgitating information, but as close to a Game of Thrones reference as I'm ever going to fucking get. Also means
So
I
that-
saw a walk. Sorry?
That guy that told Jon Snow, next time you see me, I'll be a god. What was the name of the girl he hooked up with in on the beach?
Xerxes.
Xerxes, yeah. The name of the queen.
Exactly.
Huh?
Who Jon Snow.
Cersei is the queen of Game of Thrones.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry. It was some other.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's a lot of crossover with Game of Thrones and everything.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was written after a lot of these properties, so Marvel did it first. But I mean, Greek literature did it first, so.
And then a giant Tywin Lannister was operating the Starforge to build Thor's hammer.
Oh,
Peter Dinklage.
yeah.
So they just keep bringing in Game of Thrones characters.
Do you think that was a dream of his? To be seen as bigger than everybody in a scene?
It is pretty funny. He probably had some fun with it, I hope.
Because no one was on set with him, eh?
I imagine not, because he's just going to be in front of the green screen.
But I mean, like when Thanos or when I can't think of any actors' names today at all. When Cable was playing Thanos, Josh Brolin, like he's with all the other actors. He just has this helmet above his head to give them frame of reference. Same with the Hulk, right? Like Mark Ruffalo has this apparatus.
I want to see pictures of that.
Have you not seen them?
No.
Oh, there's tons of them out there. Just look at Mark Ruffalo before CGI, and they'll show you in his because they don't do stilts anymore. They now put something above, or they'll have him standing on something. But Peter Dinklage was snuck in, put on a green screen with just the director and a camera crew, and snuck back out. Where typically he would have been running lines with Chris and who goes with him? Rocket.
Yeah.
So he would have been running lines with Vin Diesel, and I guess Vin Diesel doesn't do that either. He's all afterwards. Oh, that's Bradley Cooper. Sorry. Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel. But yeah, so just a neat thing. Dinklage was really snuck in. No one knew he was going to be in there. They had no idea who the actor was that played the character out, who was coming in to play it. So Chris Hemsworth just read lines to a director or a PA type idea. An assistant.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I loved the whole hammer making scene.
They kind of made him seem like a really. I guess his hands were just brazed in metal, so I'm like he just sounded like a whiny bitch most of the time. But yeah, he was kind of beat down a little bit by Thanos, so that's acceptable.
Yeah, he was a devious genius on Game of Thrones. He wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm from like because I know character, like I know how the characters are, but I get like wasn't he like counsel to important people?
He was a queen.
Yeah,
sister.
and he
Or
was
brother,
often
sorry.
manipulating them for his own ends.
Yeah, like he was like Jafar, but a midget or a little person. Sorry.
Yeah, but he also was a good person overall. Like he wasn't trying to hurt people. He was generally trying.
I mean, Jafar wasn't trying to hurt people. He just didn't care if he did.
This
He
guy
didn't want
cared.
the incest kid to take over as king too.
Who?
The incest kid, remember?
Bran.
Jack? What? Well, no, the queen Cersei's and her brother. He died
Yeah.
from poison. What?
They died. They got crushed together by rocks.
Who did?
Cersei and Jamie.
No, yeah, but they had a kid, an incest kid, a couple incest kids together. One was gonna be king, but he got poisoned. Remember?
Oh, that
It
was
for
awesome.
Season 1.
Fucking
There's-
Joffrey, the worst villain.
Yeah,
ever.
Joffrey. Yeah, thank you.
Is he like a Christ clone like character? Was he that kind of inbred?
No, he was fine, but he was one of those. He's the perfect kid that you want to punch in the face.
418.
No.
But he was
Bongo.
king, so he would kill people for no reason. Like he was all.
Zach, are you all packed and stacked, ready to smack?
Weed.
And after 420, we will cease discussing GOT. Buy our merch. It's not 420 yet. Now you got to repack.
And hit follow, like, and subscribe.
Yes, if you like the dumb shit we're doing, please follow us. I mean, you don't have to, but if you do, you can chat. And if you chat and type bongo time, we'll smoke more bongs. So win-win for everybody, really.
And the stream goes up to HD quality if you hit follow. So you'll get better sound and video too.
Amazing. All right, 420 has been hit.
I heard that from another channel.
All right.
So it is apparently confirmed now. We will have a couple X-Men in the.
I'm excited.
Oh wait, but Mad Dab Labs is in here. Got bongo time for Mad Dab Labs.
Thank you, Mad Dab Love.
Our sponsor today sent us out with Champion extracts. We are hitting up Slurricane Hybrid. So thank you very much to our sponsor, Mad Dab Labs. And we'll take 2 seconds to show you some of his weed.
Now he's running from the law, same as hide and seek.
We are back again. So thank you from our sponsor Mad Dad for hooking us up with some crazy shatter today, and we're smoking some. Yes, thank you. For some reason, I don't have that logo in our branding yet. I just have all the videos. Oh, so as Ryan and I were just discussing during the commercial break, we kind of forgot James McAvoy was announced just a couple days ago to be taking on a different character entirely in the MCU. So it's really curious. Sorry, Darkhawk. Yeah, it's Is that right?
Yeah, Darkhawk.
Say it really fast.
It's gonna be Hawk.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what they're going to be doing with old James there, but
Also, there's a rumor I just heard too that Michael B. Jordan might be coming back as Killmonger. You know, he died for Wakanda Forever.
we did not actually see him fully die. We just saw him enjoy a sunset.
That's true.
I mean, they took a bullet out of Ross's spine and saved him. So
Yeah. And another sidekick in this movie here, Shang-Chi, he had that girl that he was best friends that he can consider a sidekick. I don't remember her name, but that was sidekick.
oh, War Machine. War Machine, the sidekick.
Iron Man, yeah.
Pepper Potts, she's rescue, another sidekick.
Another sidekick.
I guess none of them are sidekicks now. He's dead.
Yeah.
Zach, how do you feel about sorry?
Huh?
How do you feel about the rumors that Tom Cruise might become Iron Man in a film as a variant?
Are you serious?
Well, he was originally the first person looked at for the role.
Like 20 years ago or whatever?
Well, 13 years ago.
Okay. No, I didn't know that, and I'm not sure I want to see Tom Cruise in the MCU.
Oh, you can see it. There's all right. There was already a concept. 1 second.
Who's he to be?
Iron Man.
But why would they bring back another Iron Man?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right. So, yeah, we've got the art right here.
I also believe Tom Cruise is around 60.
Yeah, like why wouldn't they bring in a younger Iron Man that they can have for like the next 12 years? And
Oh
stuff?
no, this isn't going to be a long-lasting Iron Man. This is going to be like a variant.
Oh, kind of like Spider-Man's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they'll be like, oh, we need Iron Man, so we'll go get another one.
Well, you know what? Actually, looking at him though now, like
Right?
that's actually he looks like a good Tony Stark, to be honest.
They'll be able to hide his height in the boots.
I didn't even think of that, but Wolverine's not 6 foot whatever like Hugh Jackman.
Tom Cruise should play Wolverine.
He's not built like a Wolverine. Though.
He's not big enough.
I just want a small guy. I just want a short dude. He just has to be physically proportionately small, and then I'm fine with it.
They should have
He's
got
like the
Peter
world-
Dinklage for Wolverine.
Sorry?
They should have got Peter Dinklage for Wolverine.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
He'd be Puck.
Yeah. that's
oh
what I
my
was
god, yes.
That'd be sick, actually.
No, he's already Dimitri.
Mini Me as Puck. It could be Von Troyer or whatever.
Didn't he
Hey,
die?
Did he?
if Captain America and Charles Xavier get to play multiple people, so can.
But they don't. Like, yes, they do, but they don't get to play multiple people in the MCU. They only get to play multiple people as Marvel characters. There's a heavy difference between the Fantastic Four world and the MCU.
Boil down to, I don't think there should be any such thing as the MCU. It's Marvel. Everyone should be together.
Well, but that's where we're going. That's kind of what they're clearly working towards with, and they've already set a standard of that with Spider-Man.
Yeah, so we need a movie with Human Torch, Captain America, Charles Xavier, Nighthawk, whoever else we can get like that.
I would love to see Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse show up in Moon Knight.
There we go.
I mean, I'm totally down for all of these. I'd even like a recasting of Wolverine, and then, Hugh Jackman has to come back at some point for, like, wait, they can make jokes about why he's so tall. Because I agree, the comic books just crossed over when they needed to and didn't worry about logic.
Yeah.
And with
Man.
American Chavez showing up in Multiverse of Madness, we have three beings that have access. They're the three Nexus level beings that have access to the multiverse: American Chavez, Doctor Strange, and Wanda. And they're all going to be working together at some point, it seems. So, yeah, there's a lot on the table for crossovers of old properties. But now my problem with them happening is they're going to feel cheap. To me, it feels now like a money grab because Spider-Man just did it. So, yeah, let's do it again. It's like the same trope.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to become a cash grab when it should have just been, oh, it would make sense to have, Juggernaut in this, and so let's have him. Or it makes sense to have Venom here, let's have him.
Yeah, but over time, that's just how it'll end up. Just like the comic books, right? Like the weekly publication, sometimes they have crossovers. You're like, wow, this is weird, but okay, cool, just keep going. And the cartoons didn't care who they crossed over with; they just did it. And I think that's where we're going with Marvel. And as long as it stays tongue in cheek and entertaining, I'll be okay with it. But it does have the potential to get pretty cash grabby.
I have a dream of a cash grab crossover of Marvel and DC.
I could do it.
I so don't want them to. Not yet. DC needs a better world first.
Oh yeah, I mean, like if they keep going the Snyder Cut route,
That'd be like Simpsons and Family Guy crossing over in season 4 of Family Guy. Like, yeah, there was some potential there, but no one they needed to get there.
I meant it with a good DC EU, which they don't have.
Every post people put up about the DC EU, I just put back up on it. Hey, just kill everyone and bring in the Arrowverse. I don't even care if they just bring Steve Ramel, whatever his name is, back. Like, just bring everyone back. Cool. Start over. Start making movies with these actors, and boom, got a great.
Yeah, everyone has a multiverse now. Why don't they just go? We fucked up.
They already did that.
They're doing it with Flash and the Flash.
So the Flash crossed over. The Barry Allen we know from the movies was on the TV show for 2 minutes of an episode. And the Barry Allen from the TV show has been seen on set for Flashpoint Paradox, the movie, or the Flashpoint.
Well, then let's hope they do it right and make a good version for once.
But they're just cameos.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's
in that. That's what I mean. Why aren't they doing it properly and fix this shit?
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, okay, but here's a problem. Unless they, okay, so, and since you'll probably never watch it all, I'll just a bit of spoilers here for the DC Arrowverse. When they do the crossover, Barry Allen and the Flash and the Flash meet right before, like the episode before, they destroy every other universe except for the main continuity, and then at the end of it they remake that and bring all of their favorite heroes from different universes onto this one. So it's kind of like how Marvel's been a little disjointed. Then all of a sudden, if you're watching Hawkeye and Spider-Man swings by and Daredevil, like how they've been doing, they kind of did that and just brought everybody that was disjointed into one place, one Earth now. Because before when they crossed over, they're interdimensional. Sorry?
Now that I'm hearing you describe how they handled their multiverse, you're trying to tell me that they went, hey, our extended universe kind of sucks. Let's do a multiverse, and then we can have infinite choices, and then let's immediately get rid of infinite choices and bring it back down to 2.
No.
So
because the major introduction to the multiverse was the setup for this is a comic book run. Like, this is a real comic book run. And if I can remember the name of the crossover, it's the name of the comic book that it's in. Can you look that up?
What?
The Flashpoint crossover, the big with the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Just the name, like in the Arrowverse one, Arrowverse crossover.
Yeah,
so the big bad in this is kind of like that thing we've been talking about that came over with Galactus from the last universe, the Dark. It's eating all the universes. just one by one by one. It's an entity. So they're trying to stop this. They're trying to save universes, and they can't. And by the time they get down to the last one,
So yeah, they have Supergirl, they have Black Lightning, they have Batgirl.
no, but what's the name of it? There's a name
Green
of it.
Arrow. It's
Okay, but what you're
the
still saying
Armageddon crossover.
Oh, I guess yeah. But anyways, in the end of it, the heroes are trying to stop the end of the multiverse.
Oh, I get it. So the story is though that it ends up with
Crisis of
two.
Infinity Earths, that's what it is.
Oh, Crisis on Infinite Earth. Right. It's a really wicked. Like, I wish you would watch.
DC
You
stuff.
just need to watch one season of Flash, one season of Arrow, and then like.
Okay, but again, I'm just
Sorry.
the point of you're saying the story ends with two universes existing, correct?
No, one.
Okay, so the
Black Arrow,
executives
they cross over.
go,
Black.
we fucked up huge. Here's this story that ends up with one universe, but we could change it. We could have infinite redos, but we're still going to lock ourselves into one. So that if we fuck it up, we screwed ourselves.
Oh, and then the Flash messes it up the next season and introduces the mirror dimension.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so there's, yeah, like, but I mean, the crossover, like, you're worried about how they ended it and where they were afterwards. They ended Arrow right afterwards, and they did a bunch of like other things died in it. Essentially, it was brilliant. They did great. It's the best crossover. It's
If you're looking,
endgame for TV.
if you're looking for
Yes,
two
but
DC ones
as-
to watch,
As someone who would be in
and
executive
Doomsday.
meetings, I would say, guys, regardless of how good the story is, we need to leave the options so that we can go to other universes if we fuck up again. Because we've been a disastrous company for 10 years. We fucked up every move we did. This is our chance to be able to fix things whenever we
Oh, that's
want.
where you're confused.
And they
That's-
all go, no. They go, no, let's go down to one and let's fuck ourselves again. These people are fucking
No.
stupid.
That's where you're confused because TV did it well, and everyone agrees. What are you trying?
Brendan Fraser, isn't it? DC's
Oh.
Doom Patrol. It's 3 seasons.
Oh, we'll see.
Pretty
Yes,
good.
so
But the
You're missing the
movies.
point again. Listen. You're saying that, okay, everyone was happy with the way the TV ended. They still ended with a stupid solution that's going to bite them in the future, possibly. They didn't leave doors
I
open.
know.
They closed every door possible. Yeah,
When-
it
when
did. They
you
did
were-
a great job, and people were like, great story. You still could have left the doors open and had a great story, and they didn't. They didn't even try to do that.
You know, the only thing I was correcting is that you were saying we've screwed up everything because it wasn't the movies that did it. And honestly, even in the comic books, when they did Crisis on Infinite Earth, and they did the same thing, they went down to one Earth.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like okay, you had a story that ended really good with one get out of jail free card, but you actually threw away infinite get out of jail free cards while you did it. Great job.
And
That's
isn't that
stupid.
great though? And instead of servicing the money that would say leave all the options open, they went with the story. That shows
That's
me a level of integrity.
That's like the one time they did something integrity to screw themselves over, and it wasn't worth it. Like it's just an illogical, like it's the most suboptimal, stupid, ass backwards, lock yourself in, undiversified solution that they didn't have to go to. Like if I was a programming, like as a mathematician programmer, that's like you literally did the stupidest fucking thing you ever could have done.
Wow, you're very passionate about this.
It's just Jesus Christ, guys. Pay me $100 million a year and I'll make you money. Like you have the dumbest people that don't know how to fix things running it, and when they're given the proper tools to fix everything, they throw it away and they say, "Yeah, we did a great thing."
But purists would say that if they had left it open at the end, then it wouldn't have been that series. They would have bastardized the original art, which every time they do that in the movies, everyone gets mad.
And so instead of if you're happy to have people mad at you 50 times for something stupid, have them be mad at you for the one time you do something that could have saved everything.
Well, you are the first person I've seen upset about the conclusion of Crisis on Infinite Earth.
I'm upset about it from the point of view that they've ruined everything for money every step of the way. And the one time they could have actually kept something that would help them make money infinitely, they threw it away. Like these
But I
people
don't
are.
think the TV shows did that. The TV shows just stuck to good storylines. That's why the TV's better than the DCEU.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
why
talking-
Marvel's better.
You can't break out of the thing. I'm talking about the executives threw away infinite get out of jail free cards.
No,
For
they've
the
lost a lot
integrity of the
fans.
story.
Agreed, yeah, they've lost a lot of fans.
No, they
Yes,
just
but
did
they
it.
don't have any integrity.
pointless.
They've shown for 10 years in every single movie they have zero integrity. And so
Two
the one
different
time
things.
where it would have benefited them financially to not have integrity, they did the exact opposite. The one time they shouldn't have.
But these properties are owned and produced separately. That's the only thing I'm correcting you on is that the people that chose this didn't fuck up for 10 years. They did everything right. Their stories were all really well. That's why
Okay,
the Arrowverse is better than the DCEU.
Oh, we forgot to choose what Marvel properties we're watching next month. So.
We haven't even really talked about
I don't know why you seem to have so much trouble understanding this. If I own the movie station and I hire a guy that says, "Hey, you're in charge of making sure these movies make money or not," and he said he has a chance to remake the movies as many times as he wants with a storyline that makes sense within the context of the universe, or he goes, I want to do something that doesn't make money. I'm gonna be like, you're fired. What the fuck did you do? You ruined everything.
And I agree with you. If they do that in the current Flashpoint that they're doing on TV in the movies, yeah, it'll be another flop. They screwed up. The only part I'm correcting is that it's not the movies that did the storyline we're talking about.
I don't care if the movies or TV shows or radio or newspaper did it. It's a choice of, do I leave an infinite number of doors open to remake my properties whenever I fuck one up? Or do I lock myself into one even though I've made 1,000 mistakes already? And then they go, yeah, lock ourselves in again to stupid decisions.
You read comic books, right?
I'm not talking, I don't care if it's comic books or music or cars or electricity. It's like, do you leave 1 million jail-free cards for yourself or do you throw them all away?
I really don't understand. But that's not the choices. They just told a story and finished it. That's how stories work. It's not like
this was a case where the story was meta, and it could have helped the company outside of the story.
But they'll still add more later if they want. Like that's what I'm saying. Have you read comic books do this? They bring a whole bunch of stuff to a close and then reopen it different ways. It allows them to relaunch characters.
That instead of shooting, like remember in Gotham they shot Solomon Grundy in the head, and you're like, okay, he's dead. But then they bring him back, and you go, that's so fucking stupid. It was in the head. Come on, like if you wanted to bring him back, shoot him in the chest, shoot him in the arm, shoot him somewhere not in the head. That's the stupidest place you could have done it, because I don't believe you now when you bring him back. And that's my point with the Crisis of Infinite Earths. You purposely shut down all these universes when you could have just left them open. Shoot them in the heart, not shut down every universe. Because then when you do it, when you go and undo it in the future, you lost me because you were so stupid. You could have just not shut down every universe, and then we could have gone to them.
Oh, what you're talking about is kind of the road Marvel's going down, where consequences don't matter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem with not telling some stories to conclusion, is that inevitably just every door always being open means no stakes. They knew they were going to add the Arrow character. They knew that Stephen Amell was done, and they'd come to a conclusion on what they could do. They knew that Supergirl needed a reboot onto Netflix without rebooting everything. Like, it solved a ton of corporate problems at the exact same time as telling one of the best stories I've ever fucking seen on television.
You're talking about
they made so much, like it was the most watched thing of that year. I mean, inside of WB. Are you
talking about Marvel stuff right now?
No, still DC. Like this specific event.
Yeah.
Because remember, at the exact same time that this thing happened, they had to reboot Supergirl because she was moving from WB to Netflix, and not everything and everyone was moving with her. What else was there going on? Days of Tomorrow, or that show is being brought out for that, because it did not get canceled and get brought, like it started airing again after that. Yeah. Sorry?
Legends of Tomorrow never got canceled.
Oh, I thought it was gone for years. Sorry. Yeah, so they were ending Arrow and they had to reboot Supergirl, and they were introducing Batgirl to the overall crossover.
Yeah.
So I mean, they didn't really paint themselves into any corners either.
Did they fire that Batgirl though and replace her?
No. She got so injured in the crossover and in her first season
Okay.
that her back is like forever. She can't ever do stunts again.
Oh shit.
So yeah, her life is pretty much over after one season of being.
They didn't paint themselves into the corner the same way that, you know, a TV show like Cheers, if a character died on it, they can still just say, well, this is just a TV show, so they can magically come back to life. So, of course, no TV show ever paints themselves in a corner. But just, again, logically, from the story point of view, you could have infinitely
one of the biggest
any
plot
mistake
shows
you want.
you see?
It just drives me crazy that they made such a stupid decision from a business perspective to tell a story once properly when they have shown for 10 years they don't care about telling the story properly at all.
Well, that's the only part I'm just trying to correct you on is that the TV did care about telling the story properly. Arrowverse told all their stories properly. That's why they earned that great story at the end. I'd agree with you, like, and that's why I say when DC's about to do by opening their multiverse, they haven't earned that either, like in the EU, because now they're just gonna be like, hey, you know what? We've fucked up for 10 years, and we're gonna make you still have to care about some of those properties by just making up whatever we want when Flash goes back in time. And that's pretty much all I can see happening from that is that somehow when going back in time, he's also going to go jump dimension. And the only reason Barry Allen from the Arrowverse is going to be there is to be the other side of that conversation.
Fair enough.
Because again, in the air, so it's the only thing that makes any sense.
Again, it feels like the Black Widow movie Out of Order, where it's like, she's already dead. I don't care. You fucked it up. Why did you do it this stupid way when you could have released it in order? It was a stupid business decision.
Well, I think on this one, that's got to get to a point of agree to disagree. And I'd love to discuss it again if you ever watch it. Because I mean, like, in the end, the product is what matters. I'm never upset if Disney if any property makes a bad business decision, but it's a great creative decision. That's what always should win is the creativity.
Oh, but they've shown over and over they don't care about that at all with the movies.
But again, that you're just confusing that you're putting DC together as one. They're not. There's the DCU that is fucked up for 10 years, and there's the WB Arrowverse that has pretty much been great since episode 1.
And as a consumer, I don't care about the internal business structure of the various companies that do it. I just know everything's DC, and I go, wow, you guys kind of suck.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, if you watch it this intently, you know that they're two different, they're not connected. And
I don't know that.
Everything just moved, and inside of the Arrowverse, when they went down to one universe, nothing changed for any of the characters besides now they could interact more easily because they were on the same planet. Because Supergirl was from an entirely different universe.
Yeah.
There was no super anybody in Arrow until they did the crossover, and now they're all on the same planet. So these stories, actually, they probably did that for more corporate reasons, if you want to be honest, because now they can more easily, milk the crossover stuff.
I guess I can't view it as any way other than you're like, they got this perfect egg out of the chicken that lays them by killing the chicken, but goddamn, this egg was perfect. And it's like, I'd rather have the chicken no matter how good one could start.
I think you're just confusing the chicken and the egg. They didn't kill any chicken. The chicken is laying tons more.
No, you're telling me. Oh no, this farm has multiple subsidiary chicken pens, and that farm didn't kill their chicken, but this one did. And you're just confused because you don't know our internal business structure.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you didn't watch the property. You didn't see how it ended. You didn't see the payoff, and you haven't watched anything that happened after it. Nothing changed besides they melted an entity ate most of the multiverse. That like the multiverse was there for three episodes, like for one season of Arrow.
Yeah.
Before that, no one really. They only knew about something that they could go grab Supergirl if they needed.
And so they go, for 3 episodes, we have a golden chicken, and by the end, we've got rid of the chicken. We got 1 egg left.
You're really obsessed with that. There wasn't like there was no golden chicken at any point. Regular chickens laying regular story eggs that told good stories. They killed nothing and altered nothing about business or how much
No,
money
but
they're going to make by and
story, the multiverse is the golden, like the egg, the infinite eggs
Why?
laid by the chicken.
why? What is your why do you think achieving a multiverse and maintaining it is such an important detail to the
Because
Arrowverse?
when Man of Steel with Henry Cavill fucking sucks, and you go, well, he's our Superman. That like, how do we redo Superman in the same world but not have this shitty Henry Cavill version? Oh, we go to the multiverse, and now we can hire Christopher
And they're
Reeve.
doing that.
But
They're
you're
doing
just telling me that there's one universe left.
No, I can't. There's two properties. This is like Marvel and DC. I know you want to think that they're all the same, but the Arrowverse isn't the DCU. The DCU is
So
introducing
which one are we talking about with one universe?
Arrowverse ended Arrowverse introduced their multiverse to end it. The story was encapsulated. The DCU is the new movies coming out right now that is introducing their multiverse.
So that's just telling me, okay, so let's just I don't care about these. I only care about the one that ended with one universe. Forget about the other one. It's fine. I get it. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. I'm not talking about that one.
Okay. They introduced the multiverse
now
to
you're telling me
this story.
Now you're telling me they could have had a golden chicken at the start of the series, but they waited till the very end to show it for 3 seconds. So again, a stupid business decision.
I don't see it that way. Like you're really obsessed with the fact that they gotta I guess so, but nobody else has ever made this argument. They told a good story, and that's all they needed to do. And then they went back to their worlds and started to fight their own battles.
I don't know why it's complicated to say, I have a story idea that writes its own infinite stories. And if we make mistakes, it makes sense within the story to go to alternate branches. And it's all consistent, and we can do clever things with that. And instead they go, hey, instead of using that good idea for a show, let's just waste it 3 episodes and throw it away.
All right.
The Flash went more into the multiverse, though.
I don't really have much more to add than they told an amazing story that nobody else is upset about. Sure. And I care more about the stories they tell than whether or not they can replace a bad actor later. And if you read comic books, which I know you do, that won't stop them. You know what I mean? Like they'll just figure out how the multiverse was reignited. Like they told a good story and it ended, and they didn't end anything. All the shows except for Arrow continued on, but Arrow got like 8 fucking seasons and was out of stories.
And for all those who started Arrow, Smallville.
Oh yeah.
Smallville is the whole reason why Arrow started in the first place.
Wait, why?
Well, he was on Smallville and he was with his friend Green Arrow. The same character, same actor.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was
Stephen Amell played Green Arrow on
Smallville. And that's how the whole show started for Green Arrow. You didn't know that?
I'm gonna have to look that shit up because they have to work pretty hard to put that Superman in this world. Like they had to go to another. They can't be the same person. Yeah, they can't be the same person.
It is.
No, but those two can't be the same because they had to cross a universe to go get that Smallville Superman, and then they found out he gave up his powers. Remember? Man, I love that crossover. You should watch this.
Yeah, this is a young him in Smallville.
What?
Yeah, 100%. They were friends. He was on for 2 seasons, and then
But that's not Stephen Amell.
It's not. It's the same guy.
It is not the same actor.
It isn't.
Go to IMDb. Look up
Oliver Queen. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Oliver Queen is a character, not an actor.
Pretty sure it's the same guy.
No, it's just the same character. Yeah, you really should like I know there's a million of things you're never going to actually get to it, but it is one of the better television television's never been able to accomplish this to the best I know outside of cartoons. This level of interaction and crossover, and yeah, I don't think anybody lost anything. They didn't give away anything because they'll just be great.
Let me rephrase it this way then. let's say you had a super ugly character through the whole thing,
I don't mind that.
and like they're just physically, you know, whatever, they're a great character. It doesn't matter whether they're good or bad, but they're super ugly. And then at the last 3 seasons, they take off the makeup. Sorry, 3 episodes. And it's Kat Dennings in a bikini, and you're like, why the fuck didn't you start doing that from the start? You waited till the end, and then you do it in 3 episodes, and you waste all that. That's my only point. I don't care about the content of the story. I've only been trying to talk to you as a businessman. And if I
don't care about their business. That's where that's where the massive disconnect comes. I don't care if they or anybody thinks it's a bad business choice. They did it epically, and also if this story was serviced by Kat Dennings being covered the entire time, then I don't care. If I want to look at her, I can look up pictures of her. I care about the character she's portraying.
Okay, so you're misconstruing my analogy again, where the whole point, I'm just trying to say it, and you're even saying you're not trying to talk to me about a business point, where the only point I've been trying to make this entire time is from a business standpoint. I think that's possibly the dumbest decision they ever could have done.
All right, so I'll put my business hat on, and based on how it turned out, it wasn't.
And you are focusing on the egg that they got, where I'm saying they threw away the chicken to get it. The goose that keeps laying them.
There's no thing I say, nothing I say back, and no, like I don't know what to say anymore. In reality, the business side, they were successful and still are. The Arrowverse lives on, even though Steven left. Everything's still going honky dory for them, and I'm pretty sure they're planning another crossover.
Who'd win in a fight, Green Arrow or Hawkeye?
I mean, besides one's straight up just a spy, they're identical. Like one's a rich boy, one's a spy.
But they both have good aim.
Yeah, like they're who do you like more would really be the answer.
The only thing I can say is like Hawkeye might have the edge because he has more training with like Shield and shit. I don't know, missing.
No, I would probably say Arrow because it depends on which Arrow, but in the beginning Arrow will kill and then he usually turns around. He's usually given lessons to be better than that.
Okay.
Or Hawkeye. Well, I guess Hawkeye was an assassin, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a good battle. And maybe a what if.
These come down to, especially those two, because those two are pretty much
the same.
They're the same character.
So it'd be like mirror fight.
Yeah, it would be like every Marvel movie ever.
Pretty much.
So I'd have to know who in that movie was played up as the good guy. It's like who would win in a fight with when John Walker and Falcon fought when Falcon didn't have any gear on. Like, I don't know, probably probably Falcon because they're identical in every way they're led up into this point. So I mean, who'd they play to be the good guy? I don't know what these chats mean. Oh, they're YouTube. Nice. So you can't see them, but we got more weird YouTube. Not weird, but I don't know what they say.
Oh.
And also, I guess the final point would be, though, given you didn't fully envelop the property or know the full storyline that they told, I don't think you can say whether it was a bad business decision or not. Business decisions are based on...
I don't see why knowing the content of the actual episode is relevant at all outside of you destroyed infinite choices to leave it with one.
No, ROI is the only important thing. If we're going to talk business, ROI is the only important thing.
And so they destroyed infinite choices to leave it with one, which is a terrible ROI. That's the worst you could possibly.
You're obsessed on
the only thing worse is zero. You went from infinite to one. Zero's the only lower you could go from.
You're obsessed with one point to a part that I don't know how to continue the conversation. Like they didn't kill any goose. They didn't destroy any future. Comic books again do this constantly. They drop some stuff to just start some new stuff, and that's all they did in this case. And if they want a new multiverse, they'll just simply write it. and they didn't.
And I'm just saying it's stupid to shoot Butch in the head when you're going to bring him back in that episode. Shoot him in the foot. Then it makes more sense.
I mean, that there's a bunch of cosmic powerful entities and a bunch of layers inside DC, just like Marvel. So, I mean, yeah, they didn't write themselves into any corners. They didn't kill any goose. In the end,
I'm telling you, I perceive it as infinitely stupid. So you're wrong, because my opinion is that was a really stupid choice.
oh, okay. So there is no conversation left then.
No, the point is you're saying no one thinks that's a stupid choice. And I'm like, I do.
Okay, well, I mean, no matter how many times I tell you that you're the minority in that thought and the results, it doesn't matter then. Like they both made
And no
money.
matter how many times I tell you infinity's bigger than one, you can't seem to see it.
Well, I understand that, but
then you just go back to, well, no, it's fine though, because they'll just make up something stupid. And I'm like, how about you just avoid the stupid step?
all right. I
That's
guess
all
we
I'm
just-
trying to say.
Well, we just disagree. I don't see a middle ground or us coming to one or other side. The shareholders were happy. The business plan continued on, and they're still making lots of money. And the fans were happy. So
It's they didn't, like, apparently they were going to kill Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, right? But then they didn't.
in the new movie, yeah. Okay.
Right. So that was a smart decision. They realized, oh, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot, and it's going to really be dumb if we bring him back after killing him, because this is a good chance to make money. So let's not do that.
All right.
That's my point. And DC
Okay.
didn't do that. DC
Right.
did decide to kill him, and they're like, well, now we're going to have to bring him back, and it's stupid. We could have avoided this easily. That's all I'm saying.
I concede that that's the point you're making.
So do you think they should have killed Tobey Maguire and then brought him back? Or do you think they should have done what they've done, which is the better choice?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what they do with it next. If they just tell more cash grabby stories.
I'm assume they're going to make more movies with Tobey Maguire.
I-
Was the right
I
choice
don't-
to leave him alive, or was it to kill him?
I'm answering your question. If
Okay,
they
well,
tell really good stories with him and it all works out, wicked. If they don't, then no, it was kind of a waste, and it could have been a great moment in the movie.
Forget about whether they're good or bad. They're saying we're going to do more movies with him. Should we have killed him, or should we have left him alive?
You're asking my opinion on something and then giving me parameters of what I can make my opinion on.
Yes.
Okay, so then the answer is whatever you want it to be.
So wait, you're saying that if they make
No,
a
like,
great
okay.
movie,
My judgment and opinion on you to give you an answer on your question would be based on the product made afterwards. Which, whether you're like, even if we're just talking business, that's the point in a business, is to worry about the product made. And if they make bad product after that choice, then yeah, it was a bad choice. If they make really good product, then it was a good choice to not kill him. It could have been a really impactful moment in a movie. Really great, impactful, heartfelt, the leader goes wrong kind of moment.
so I guess my point I'm trying to say is the
Sorry, I
harm
have to
you
step
caused-
out. I apologize. I have to answer the phone. I want to keep talking. Ryan, talk. Sorry.
Ryan, do you understand what I'm trying to say in terms of it seems stupid to kill someone off and then bring them back when you had the choice of just leaving them alive originally?
Yeah, I hear you.
So why is Barry so
They didn't have
against
to, yeah, I don't know why they're bringing back Iron Man and Black Widow and all these people after they killed them already. They should just let it go at this point. But we know Marvel, now that they're still got wanting money and making contracts, I'm sure we'll still see some cameos from Robert Downey Jr. too.
Oh, so is it true? Like Barry's point was it's less impactful when you kill someone and bring them back willy-nilly, right?
Yeah.
So that's my point of what they're
I
doing.
think Barry's saying he wants a great story or something, and He doesn't care if they come back or not. Is that right, Barry?
What?
You just want a great story and you don't care if they come back or not?
I mean, Marvel's business plan has pretty much shown that if you don't service the story, like DC just kind of tries to do whatever they want. When you service the original artwork, when you service the comic book fans, you make more money. So, and DC TV universe, Arrowverse, sees that. They service the comic book stories time and time and time again, and did really well with them. So, I mean, they picked the first crossover, the Flashpoint Paradox. Like they picked an advantageous and a huge swing, and they knocked it out of the park. And they just decided to go bigger every time. And by the end of it, they got to the biggest story they could tell. I mean, they did a great job. And to answer your question, business is all about the product and how much money you can make off of it. And Marvel's shown that if you make choices just for the money, they don't work, and people call them out on them pretty hard.
Okay, so let me ask you this related to that. Given that, you know, Coulson, Vision, Black Widow, possibly, like all these people come back to life. Like Marvel's known for bringing quite a few people back to life. I think almost no one's died permanently except for maybe Black Widow. Is that correct?
Sorry?
Is that correct? That pretty much everyone that's died in MCU has come back except for the rare one like Black Widow and maybe, I don't know who else even.
Tony?
Yeah. But how many have come back to life after being killed? Like 10 or something?
Okay,
like that?
so to the MCU, I have no idea if Coulson's actually dead or not. I just don't know. We actually have to wrap up because Ryan has to get back to the shop and I have to drive him. Because we only took one car over here.
Like, do you think it was a bad decision to have killed them off and brought them back, or do you think it would have been better overall for them if they had come up with more reasonable ways that they were still around?
Again, we would have to literally break each one down because it's about how it ended and how it serviced the story. And again, comic books do this time and time again, and that's where they're pulling these stories from. So, yeah, if it services a good story, I'm down. If it doesn't, it wasn't worth it. It's really about how the art ends up in the end. And the people paying for the art agree, and that's how it works. My dog's barking her head off now. Yeah, put a pin in this conversation, or we could just. I don't think it was a bad business choice, and I think the ROI on it speaks for itself, and I think you should definitely check it out.
And I think that they should have written the multiverse as the basis of everything so that they can always go back to it as a storyline reason to fix things, but they didn't.
And that's the reason why I think that they need to earn multiverses. All right, I'm going to let Ryan end the broadcast. Just sit and broadcast because you're talking. I have to let my dog out. She's barked like 10 times.
No worries. Yeah, so I guess me and Zach are here to smoke one more bongo each, everyone.
Yep.
And we will join you tomorrow at the same bad time, same bad place. All right. Well, nice talking with you, Zach. I guess we will see you later.
See you later.
Kids know the cat is on the
Hit that one.
No matter where you go,